Good evening. Australians with a gripe against the banks will be able to vent their anger publicly.
Intense political pressure forced the Prime Minister into a stunning about-face, today announcing a $75 million Royal Commission.
A political withdrawal on the banks.
Only the government can ensure that a Royal Commission is created with responsible, comprehensive terms of reference.
Having argued against one for 2 years, voted 22 times to prevent one, and just Tuesday insisted.
We have made it very clear that we are not going to establish a Royal Commission.
Today, he did.
Government's policy remains the same until it's changed.
A special cabinet meeting approving the decision after receiving a letter from the big banks requesting an inquiry, what the Treasurer calls
a regrettable but necessary action.
The 12-month inquiry costing $75 million will hear complaints from individuals, businesses, farmers who believe they've been dudded by the banks and decide whether compensation is necessary.
It'll cover the nation's banks, big and small, wealth managers, superannuation providers, insurance companies.
Labor says it isn't a backflip, but a
bankflip. This is a victory for Labor, but more importantly than that, it's a victory for the people of Australia.
Having argued for 2 years that a Royal Commission would undermine confidence in the banking sector, Malcolm Turnbull now says it's the only way to restore confidence, knowing if he didn't call an inquiry, renegade nationals would exploit his parliamentary weakness and force one on him.
I think we're all aware of the circumstances in the Parliament.
I just don't understand why it took, a number of National Party backbenchers to drag the Prime Minister kicking and screaming to this decision.
And now he is going to kick even harder.
I think you're going to see a more bullish National Party.
Malcolm Turnbull can bank on that.
And Mark Riley has more on what this might do to Malcolm Turnbull's political credibility.
Well, Bill, it'll take a hit in the short term because he looks like a hypocrite, but he's thinking beyond that. Labor was making great ground by attacking his refusal to call a Royal Commission. He's now deprived them of that potent weapon. The same-sex marriage debate was also hurting him, but that will be legalised in the House next week, which leaves the weekend penalty rate cuts as the last big target for Labor. Will that be the next thing Malcolm Turnbull buckles on? We'll see.